Thank you to Acquired Taste Media. Make sure you click the link in the bio, like, subscribe, know what to do. Really appreciate the love. So, if you didn't know, Larussel has signed to Rocnation. He announced it today on the Breakfast Club. And first off, I want to say congratulations to that young man. I've been watching him out here grinding for a while. Um, and, he deserves it. I mean, whatever he got and, whatever kind of bag or whatever happened, however it happened, he deserved it because he's been out here working and you've been seeing him putting in the work. So you got a lot of people out here talking about, Larussel kind of maybe being a hypocrite or being hypocritical because, of course, he preached and talked about independence and, you know, signed to a label. Now, Russ, who's not Larussel, but Russ, he is a completely independent and he has never signed to a label and said he would never sign to a label. But Russ is also white. So I don't, I personally, in my opinion, I don't knock Larussel for what he's done. He said he's keeping all his masters. So that's cool. He may have did a publishing deal or something to where they get the publishing for a little while or whatever, get a little percentage of the publishing. But I mean, the goal is to always, try to, at least for most people, the goal is to get to the next step and to get higher and higher. You know, Rocnation, Live Nation, and a lot of other record industry entities are all related, all combined. They all have something to do with each other. So if you shut down one, you're going to shut down more than just one. So let's just say, for instance, because we know how business works, right? And as much as, Larussel got in that room and said that it was so much love and that he felt so whatever amazing in there with those guys, that could be a lie. It could have been a strong arm. We don't know because we weren't in the room. Now, once again, it could have been a great conversation, but it could have been easily a strong arm. Like, look, we see what you're doing, and we fuck with it. And if you want to, get bigger and go further, you got to fuck with us. Period. So, like I say, when you think about touring and doing big venues and stuff like that, a lot of that stuff is controlled by the industry, i.e. Live Nation, i.e. Rocnation, i.e. Universal, Sony, all these big music companies and all these big distribution companies and publishing companies that own all this music. So, do I believe that conversation was just gung-ho, like, oh yeah, it's cool, whatever? No. I think the conversation was probably get down or lay down. And the reason being is because of this. And this is and you have to take this into consideration. I believe that Larussel was looking for a deal of some type because a deal is going to bring you more money. So I do think that Larussel has always been looking for some type of record deal, or some type of deal, period, so that he has more power to push his product and to make his people more money. So I understand and I get that. So when you're approached by individuals, I don't really even think it's like really being in a mafia or some shit. Like, you can't say no. You know what I mean? Like, there's no saying no to us. If you say no to us, we will destroy you. And, at this point in time, people, may not want to be destroyed, or people may feel like, hey, I do want more out of the work that I'm putting in. And if you guys can guarantee me more and I can see more, then I'm going to be happy with that. Especially, once again, he keeps his masters. Now, I don't know about his masters moving forward, but I know, I guess all his previous masters and stuff, he still owns that, So, even looking into that, you got people who, who invested in Larussel when he was nobody and got percentages of his music catalogs or percentages of some of his songs. They may be, them songs is probably going up right now with Rocnation and stuff like that. Now, do I know if they are? I don't. But I would think that, he's being signed with Rocnation. Should have got you some buzz. Should have got those songs some more streams, which got his fans more money, which is all good. So, in the big picture, as long as he has his fans and they follow him and they are, and they support what he's doing, and they're going to continue to support what he's doing, and that's all that matters, man. When you become a voice for the voiceless, or a man of the hip hop community, and this is what you want to do, then these are the things that you have to do sometimes to take it to that next level. And then they even said at one point in time, I guess he said what made him want to do it, or what made him feel some type of ways, because you remember a couple years back he said that he received some type of offer from Rocnation, like an official offer from Rocnation, and the offer didn't have a number on it or something like that, or the number was really low or some shit. It was crazy. But he was like, when he read it and seen it, it made him feel some type of way. And he talked about it on many podcasts, talked about how, he wanted to speak to Hov, and he was never actually able to speak to Hov about the situation. But he just wanted to let the Hov know that this is how the people are moving in your company. These are the type of things that they're doing, throwing out, bullshit contracts, not reading shit over, and then, that's going to leave a bad taste in my mouth, because now I'm reading and I'm like, damn, bro, this how you feel about me? So remember when that happened. And like I said, that happened, I think probably last year, maybe a year or two ago. But I do remember when it happened. So, that's that. And then on top of that, one more thing, which I don't know if you guys remember this or not. And this was when I personally was like, you know what? I'm going to step back from old boy for a minute, because I didn't like how he was moving, right? So at one point in time, Larussel put a wig on, right? And I don't remember exactly what it was for. I think he might have just been putting a wig on and just acting a fool with it on. I don't know. But I do remember him putting on a wig. And when he put that wig on, I think I stopped following him for a while. Like, literally, I was like, yo, like, you cool, bro. I like your music and stuff, but man, you wearing wigs and shit. I'm not rocking with anybody trying to push that type of narrative at all. So I kind of fell back from him after he did that. And, and I remember dropping a comment and saying something about it, and people, his fans, what I'm saying, blowing down, like, nigga, it's just a joke, and nigga, whoop this and whoop that. But, whatever it was, like I say, for me, I don't want to see an artist any artist that I like, I don't want to see them niggas in no wigs. Like, Andre 3000 is probably the only one. And once again, he wasn't wearing women's wigs. He was just wearing wigs for his costumes and stuff like that. Because I do remember Hey Yad, I think he had on a wig or something. But he had on like a bob. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way to, like, once again, he just wore a fucking woman's wig. And I just wasn't with that shit. And I was just like, yo, Larussel is tripping. Like, nigga, stay doing what you're doing. You don't have to wear women's wigs to get people's attention. So that was one of the things that I didn't, that I definitely had an issue with him. But other than that, and then like I say, then even after that, I stopped following. I probably stopped following him for maybe 6 months to a year. And then as he started getting back on my timeline and I started seeing different things about him, I started following him again. Because once again, sometimes we do, or we may not like where the information is coming from, or who the information is coming from. But if it's good information, it's good information. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why they be like, everybody wants to shoot the messenger, because, it's not about the messenger, it's about the message. So, but yeah, so once again, salute to that young man. Like I say, when it comes to black people, we just got it different. And like I say, I'm thinking he sat down with the elites. Well, not the elites, but, one of the elites being Jay-Z. And nigga, it was a conversation. The conversation was very, I think it was very get down or lay down. Don't get me wrong, it was definitely some conversation. I don't think Jay-Z went in there like, look, nigga, you want to fuck with us? You better fuck with us or you can't fuck with nobody at all. No, it was definitely conversations had. But best believe, during that conversation, they made it be known that either you with us or you against us. Because ain't no way we gonna have another meeting and you don't sign with us. And we, you know what I'm saying? Because now there's no issue. Now the first thing that happened, okay, we get that. All right, we understand that. All right, now we're circling back to holler at you again. There's only one answer. If you say anything else, we will make sure that your career stays exactly where it's at. Boom. Now, once that's said, Russell was probably like, man, shit. Well, nigga, we ain't got to go through all that. We can, I'll rock with you. But if he would have walked away and said, nah, I'm good, man. Fuck y'all. I don't want to sign with y'all. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I've been doing it and it's been working. It would have stopped working after that. Believe it. It would have stopped working. And not because it's because of the powers that be. They would have started suppressing his music. They would have been talking to the streaming services, suppressing his music. Shit, they probably would have been talking to YouTube, suppressing his videos, Instagram, suppress his they would have suppressed everything. So they would have made it look like you just stopped doing shit, when really you're still out there grinding trying to get it. But because they control the software and the programs that you do these things on, then they're ultimately the ones who are going to say, yeah, let it go, or no, we cool on that. That's why, why do you think a lot of, that's why they say you have to post all the time. The reason you post all the time is because they don't you're a nobody to the algorithm, right? Let's talk algorithm. You're nobody to the algorithm. So if you start posting every day, 10 times a day, the algorithm is going to start seeing you more because you're doing more. You're being more proactive on the platform. So it's going to promote you, or it's going to reward you by helping you get more views, helping you get more followers, because you are on their platform, using their platform, period. But once again, if somebody controls the platform and a person can call the people who control the platform and say, hey, yeah, I'm going to send you guys this amount of money, and maybe not even say suppress anybody. Let's just say we're going to push this shit down their throats so that we can drown out everything else. So we're gonna put money. We're gonna put a lot of money behind this. But once again, let's just keep it a buck. They can put money to suppress. Look, man. Matter of fact, you know, hack they page. You know, flag their page. Take their page down. Next thing you know, Larussel ain't even on Instagram no more. What happened? You know, when those type of things happen, those type of things change the dynamic of how niggas doing business now, of how an individual is making his money. So, once again, not saying that's what they did. Once again, it could have been a great conversation. The conversation could have been thumbs up and keep going. But in my experience with niggas in the industry, niggas don't come like that. Niggas ain't coming like, oh yeah, man, whatever, man, do what you want to do. No. If we're here, we're going to make a deal. If we don't make a deal, then you'll never see us again, and and you're gonna see some changes in your shit. So, you know what to do, man. Appreciate the love, man. Make sure you guys click the link in the bio, like, subscribe, you know what to do. Make sure you drop a comment. We really appreciate the love. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.